boy, I didn't want you guys to leave early. Thought I'd make it tight. You know, like I said to our kids, win number 700, and we're 4-1 since, I guess, first time since 2009, and 2-0 in the ACC. So our kids find a way to win. They fight through adversity. You know, things don't always go perfect. I told them before the game, there's going to be ups and downs. How you react to them is going to be important. And, you know, 2 weeks in a row, our defense is on the field at the end of the game and tries to finish out the game, and it did a heck of a job. You know, there's a lot of big plays out there offensively. We start off really with some explosive plays, probably 6 of them in the first half. Didn't have as many in the second half as we wanted. We had one called back for a holding call when Nathan ran down the field. And, you know, we had some missed opportunities that we can't win a championship when you have missed opportunities, fumble the ball on the goal line. You know, Jester Weed drops the ball in the end zone. I mean, there's so many plays that, you know, we could have made more and really not turned it into the good game that was. I'd rather not have a good game. I'd rather, you know, be relaxing down in the fourth quarter. But, you know, they're making us earn our money, that's for sure. But our kids keep fighting, and, you know, I think they've learned how to win. And, you know, we'll just keep pushing. Questions?
Any update on Grigsby?
On Grigsby? What are you wearing around your chest there?
Chris.
Grigsby's fine. I think Grigsby could have came back. You know, I think he strained his neck. I thought it was a concussion, but it wasn't. And he could have come back. And you know, Rob came back and said, "Hey, he's ready to go if you need him." I was like, you know, I don't like hearing the word neck. We'll be okay. It was good to get Steinbeck got some reps out there. Jamal Davis stepped up. Obviously, Mike Caprera was the guy that filled in immediately. But really, we got 2 other guys that we haven't seen a lot of reps out of. You know, and I grabbed both those guys and say, "Hey, it's your time. This is what you've been waiting for." And now we'll go back and watch the tape and find out how they did.
How would you evaluate your quarterback today?
You know, Nathan managed the game well, I thought. You know, he started off, you know, throwing some nice balls and completions to the tight ends down the field, and you know they're doubling Boyd, even though he doesn't think he's getting doubled. You know, you have to triple or quadruple him to think he's doubled. But you know, they're doubling him and leaving our tight ends loose. And but I thought Nathan did a nice job. It's a win, and that's all that counts.
How much do you think the crowd affected the game, particularly on that safety?
You know what? That Panther Pitt did a heck of a job. I'll give a shout out to them. They did a great job. You know, they stayed through the fourth quarter, in my opinion, and I'm sure a couple of them left. But you know, I'm sure there's a couple of reporters that left too. But they did a great job. They did a tremendous job down there, and I think they had a huge part in it. You know, that's a safety. You know, Coach Conklin had a great call on that third down to get the sack and the safety, and he set it up well with some of the, you know, just a pressure look where the boundary backer looked like he was coming, and we brought it from the field, and Caprera came through and made a big play.
Last week you said you sort of, once you saw how well the defense was playing, you maybe dialed it back in terms of going a little more conservative on offense. Was that the case again today?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I've never dialed back. I mean, we never, you know, we're just not making the plays we need to make late in the game, and maybe Coach Cheney's getting conservative, but I'm not, because I told him, hey, let's go for it. We're not, you know, just going 3 plays, run it and punt, and try to eat up some clock. You don't want to get a first down. I'd like to, you know, the next step is to take that last 4 minutes and 45 seconds or whatever was left and drive the ball down and eat the clock up for, you know, 4.5-minute drive and keep that defense on the sideline. That's the next way we need to win, so I'm waiting for that one.
Is learning how to win one of the toughest things a team has to do, especially a young team?
I think, you know, they got to believe. You know, even halfway through that fourth quarter, it was kind of quiet over there, and I just try to get them cranked up, you know, because they got to have emotion. You can't lose your emotion. You know, they hit a pass on us, all of a sudden the kids start to go, oh, no, here we go again. And, you know, as coaches, that's our job to make sure they don't, you know, say that, oh, here we go again. And, you know, we've talked about that we're not going back that way. We're not taking that route. And kids believe.
Is winning with defense last week and then this week again sort of the path to that? I mean,
I don't want it to be, you know. That's why I'm thinning because of that stuff. But I've done that for a few years. But, you know, it doesn't matter how we win. We're going to win it with special teams. I thought special teams played extremely well. You know, that was the #1 punt return team in the country, and I don't know if they returned one. You know, Ryan Winslow banged the heck out. I don't know what his average was, but it looks like it was, you know, 44.7, 6 punts. I don't know if they had a return. You guys can check that out. But, you know, Ryan Winslow, the protection was good all day, and I don't, you know, he put them out there. So, you know, I thought we won special teams as well. You know, you get that big, you know, that big extra point block at the end. You know, everybody's feeling, you know, Juan comes through there. That, you know, makes it a 7-point game. Instead, at the end, they're driving down and kicking an extra point to win the game. They're driving down thinking either I got to kick it to tie or we go for 2, try to win on the road. So it puts more pressure on them. So that was a huge extra point block. So it doesn't matter how it happens. Go ahead.
What were your thoughts on how Coach James ran tonight?
You know, we rushed for almost probably 100 yards. You know, he ran hard. You know, he kept the ball in his hands. And like I said, you know, you guys asked who's the starter. You know, we'll put some more oars down there for you, Jerry and Sam. And we'll just keep going oars. But it's whoever's hot. And Chris James got hot, you know. And Olsen played well, too. Now, he put his head down and ran through some people. He was running through the smoke out there. So they both ran the ball well. And Chris had a couple, you know, longer runs, I guess.
Does it change the equation at all when you're sort of deciding between those two guys that they are very sort of different in their styles?
You know, they're both guys that can run the power, and that's what we want to do. So they both, you know, one's just a little bit bigger, you know, a little flashier, but we don't change what we're doing when they're in the game.
Good to see Dantes step up a little.
Yeah, you know, Dantes had some physical, yak, I guess, you know, yards after the catch. You know, and whoever it is, I mean, he's obviously the number 2 guy. We're still looking for that 3rd guy. You know, 2 weeks in a row, you know, Jester hadn't, taken that ball and put it in the end zone, whatever it is, and he's got to learn to get some confidence. But, you know, still have faith in him, and we just got to keep getting better. I guess he's saving it for next week in Georgia, I guess. I don't know.
You mentioned Caprara. He's played a lot this year, but just what more can you say about him stepping up and the job he did with Freeze going down?
He's a great football player. You know, he doesn't play many, you know, snaps to the field during the week. You know, it's what our star position is, but he knows he's the backup there, and, you know, he's just such an intelligent kid. He's smart. He asks great questions on the sideline. You know, he understands the game. So, you know, you win with those smart guys, as I've said before. He's a real smart guy that asks the right questions and understands what's he doing. So, I mean, he can play all 3 positions. I mean, he's a darn good Mike linebacker, too. I don't think he's taken a snap there yet, but maybe we'll get him one next week.
The defense, even if it's not, you know, perfect every play, do you feel like they have the personality, the style that you want out of that unit? I
think so. I mean, we gave up 2 big runs, I think, and both of them were, you know, a defensive end spilling it. One time Juan runs up the field, and one time Roy runs up the field, and all it is inside zone, you know, cutback zone that will drive me nuts because that's just saying, here you go. You know, here you go. We're just giving it to them. So, you know, we got to stop those little things that, you know, Iowa did a little bit in the 4th quarter, and then they ran the inside zone against us too much today. So we got to go back and look and fix it.
Matt, after the interception return to the 20, and then Nate ran for, I think, a 1st down, you guys went no huddle. Mm-hmm. Was that something that just happened after the Peterman run, or was that something that you guys had consciously done after?
You know, we've practiced that. We don't do it all the time after turnover. We try to tempo them up a little bit. You know, we start off preseason like that, so we haven't gotten into a lot of it. We've been kind of saving it, I guess, right, when you need it. But you know, you get them on their heels a little bit, and you know, we have a way to, you know, to get the tempo going in a 2-minute, but running a normal offense. So you know, we'll probably do a little bit more of that, I guess, and. You know, that was a heck of a pick by Galambos, too, by the way, huh? If he would just run forward, not look back behind him, he might have scored. So we got to teach him how to score.
Is that something that he saw? He seemed to read that play pretty well.
You know, yeah, he reads it pretty good. It's just something we coach. Put it that way. I can't give you any tips. You know, we have to go do it at a clinic, Jerry, but you have to save that for maybe the Pennsylvania State high school clinic. I'll let you come to it and get you a ticket. But it's you know, it's what we coach. Okay, it's one of our zone pressures, and he did a great job reading it. And it's good to see that because I haven't had a Mike linebacker get an interception on that coverage. It's what we call hot coverage for a while, and it's nice to see him do that.
What was your assessment of how you guys used Chad today?
You know, start off, it seemed like they were blitzing every time he came in the game, you know, and I mentioned that to Coach Chaney. They didn't think so. So we'll look at it and see. But, you know, we ran it with him probably too much. We didn't maybe get him enough reps. He went out there one time. We got to delay a game. So we'll just keep evaluating it.
You still feel like you have to have him throw at some point?
Yeah, I'd like to. That's why I keep saying it. But, you know, they don't. You know, those offensive guys don't listen as defensive guys.
Question back here. Yeah, Coach, this team could very easily be undefeated. Do you feel like, in spite of the close games, that it's making the kind of strides that the team needs to take from week to week?
No question about it. I mean, again, we're, you know, 3 points and a 57-yard field goal, you know, from being undefeated. And, you know, and I was probably still undefeated. I don't know what they did today, but it's a good football team. You know, C.J. Beathard, I told you, was a good player going into the game, and he's been a good player throughout. So it's a good football team. But, you know, our kids are doing what they need to do to win. And could it be cleaner? Could it be better? There's no doubt about it. And that's why we'll go to work on Tuesday and get ready for Georgia Tech.